Brian, you had a 350 on base percentage, 82 games in the pros last year. What was your first impressions of the big leagues?
It was pretty good. It was a lot what I expected. You know, the crowd being great, the atmosphere being good, and me just trying to get every enjoyment out of it that I can. Like, it was something that I truly expected. Exactly what I expected.
Well, I like to follow the minor league system and see the type of players coming up with the Cardinals. So we followed the Rule 5 draft really closely in 2007. A lot of people were saying you might be the number one pick in the 07 Rule 5 draft. The Cardinals picked you 10th overall. What were your thoughts on draft day? Did you kind of hear that hype that you really thought you were going to be selected?
Yeah, I kind of heard about it late. I wasn't even sure if I was Rule 5 eligible. I had gotten some misinformation earlier in the year, so I really didn't pay too much attention to it. And then I started hearing the buzz, and it became as a shock to me. And so when I actually did get picked up, I mean, it was a big shock, because that's when I found out that I finally had my first opportunity of actually getting to where I needed to be.
Right. So on draft day, did you actually go to the winter meetings, or did you just kind of sit home and wait for a phone call?
Actually, my agent went there, and he was the one who called me. So I tried not to get too caught up into it, just because I didn't want to be set up for disappointment. So I was kind of just letting myself just have my normal day. And when my agent called me and told me the good news,
had your agent named some teams, and had he said that the Cardinals might be looking for an outfielder?
Well, I pretty much thought like everybody else thought I was going to be one of the first two. Either Tampa Bay or somewhere with San Diego or somebody. So I mean, for me to go down to the Cardinals, it was a surprise. After hearing the hype, I guess that's why I don't like to pay too much attention to it. But at the same time, I mean, it all worked out well. I made the team, and I got my opportunity.
Some people were saying you may have fell because of the health of your knee. How do you feel that your knee held up after a big league season?
Oh, it held up great. I think that probably was the big question mark. A lot of people thought it was worse than what it really was, and for me, it was just something more of a maintenance thing to kind of, get it done, because it kept lingering from the injury I had, 2 seasons prior.
Right. And so, the Cardinals really were looking for an outfielder that season. Part of the reason they grabbed you. Now it seems like they've got a lot of depth in the outfield. I mean, how do you see your role on the team in 09?
I'm just going to go out there and play hard. I went into last year looking for a more solidified role in the lineup, but the guys played great, and you can't knock that. And all it does is calls for healthy competition, and anytime you have that on any team, it's good for the team.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.